What's going on, Saints fans? Today's video is a mailbag with questions from our live show that we have every single Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Time. Questions from our subscribers. And if you want to be a part of it in the future, I highly encourage you to subscribe to the channel. That way you can get more news, rumors, and updates around the black and gold. And that way we can also kick the teeth in on Falcons today. Right now they're kicking our ass, but we only need 165 subs to catch up to them. So help me out, Who Dat Nation. Let's go catch the dirty birds, bury the baby brothers of the NFC South. Let's get back on top of the 2025 sub battle. Alrighty, how this mailbag works, people send in questions in the live chat. People have questions, I have answers, and I share my thoughts. So very first question of the day is going to be coming in here in just a moment from Finley. Trizzy G has been my number one source of Saints news. I appreciate that, Finley. You the man. Thank you for always showing me some love. Be sure to subscribe, just like Finley. Alrighty, so Finley also saying, what do you think Kellen Moore is going to rely on more, the run offense or the passing offense? This is a great question. I actually think you should expect a lot of the run. The Eagles, they were very, very active in the run game. They were a run-first football team, and I think that Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill, when he's healthy, that's a really good rushing squad. One thing about Kellen Moore, he says, he even said in his introductory press conference, he doesn't care if you have to run the ball 50 times or pass the ball 50 times. They're just going to find a way to win because that's what's important to him. So expect Kellen Moore some games to be pass happy. Expect some games to be run happy. But I think ultimately this will be a run-first team for the New Orleans Saints under Kellen Moore. Great question, Finley. Depressed Pels fan, I've seen some Maxx Crosby trade rumors. Can he be the last edition of the New Orleans Raiders? Yeah, throw back to all those Raiders players and coaches that joined. Oh, God, that was awful. I'll tell you one thing. Before we answer this question, if you're going to model yourself after a team, should be the Eagles, not the frickin' Raiders. Look, I think it'd be cool to have Maxx Crosby. I think it would be an awesome addition. I think he has no intention of leaving Las Vegas. So would I trade for him? Absolutely. I understand it would be expensive. I understand it would be very difficult to pull off. But he's a player that's worth it. I just don't think it's very likely. I think he's going to want to stay in Las Vegas. And to be totally honest, I don't know why you'd want to stay in Vegas, but he strikes me as a guy a lot like Cam Jordan who once he's somewhere and he feels established and he feels like he's earned a spot, he wants to build something special. So, you can't knock him for that. Rob Brown, who would you prefer, Trizzy, behind AK? Jeanty or Skattebo? I hate having this conversation because every week it changes. I'm going to say, I hate you for bringing up this question, dude. I don't know. I'm going Ashton Jeanty. He's a generational player. But I'll make the argument if you go Cam Skattebo, you can get him on day 2. You can maybe even round 3. You can fill in some other positions in need in the first and second round. So there's value in both sides. I'm gonna go Jeanty though. Jerry G, do you think the 3-4 defense will make the Saints defense? Yes, I do think that this will improve the defense. So for those of you who don't know, Brandon Staley likely, if at the time of filming this video, Wednesday, February 19th, about 5 p.m. Central Time. Brandon Staley has not been named the defensive coordinator, just rumors around him. He would likely change things to a 3-4 defense. Ross Jackson has gone into great detail about this. He has a lot of great information on this, so I highly recommend you check out his podcast around this subject. But, I think that this will lead to improvement, not just for the defense as a whole, but I think this helps guys like Isaiah Foskey. I think this helps Carl Granderson. I think that honestly this could help Cam Jordan. I think it takes it just is a more modern style, and to be totally honest, the Saints need a massive push of being more modern, and it's not just offense, it's defense too. Now, really fast, we got more questions to get to, but I have to give a big-time shout-out to Public Rec for sponsoring today's show. I know you guys love this shirt. I know you've seen me wear this. I know you've heard me talk about it so many times, but it's because I never get tired of talking about Public Rec. It's because honestly, thank God my washer and dryer work because I never stop wearing my Public Rec. And you can get your gear today. 20% off if you use code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. So, It's February. It's cold outside. I'm just going to be honest, fellas. You deserve to be comfortable in whatever you're wearing. Nobody has time for stiff, uncomfortable clothes anymore. So Public Rec, that's where they come in. Their pants are designed to be as comfortable as your favorite sweats, but are way, way more stylish. We're talking about super soft fabrics, no stiff seams, and enough stretch in all the right places to keep up with whatever your day throws at you. So this February, stop selling for the same old stuff and step up your comfort game with Public Rec. It's about time you treat yourself, Saints fans. For a limited time, the Who Dat Nation gets 20% off your entire order with code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. That's CHAT20 at publicrec.com. The link is in the comments and description of this video. I love Public Rec, guys. I've ordered a lot of stuff from them. I continue to order a lot of stuff from them, and I like to think that I'm helping keep their lights on. They're helping keep our lights on. I like to think I'm helping keep theirs. I just love the product. And I'm going to be honest, it makes for really good gifts, too. If you have a friend that or a family member has a birthday coming up, Father's Day, that'll sneak up way quicker than you guys realize. Before you know it, you're going to be like, oh, crud, I forgot to give my dad a Father's Day gift. Go ahead and order the pants, order a shirt or something like that. Stash it in the closet, forget about it for a few months, and then here in April, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm the best son in the whole wide world because I already have my Public Rec stuff for my dad. Link is in the comments and description of this video. Code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. So we've talked a little bit about some trade ideas and some trade discussion. Who's a dream trade target for the Saints? I want you to get creative. I want you to get really wild with this one. Like, the crazier, the better. Cap space doesn't exist. Draft compensation doesn't exist. You can just call any team right now and say, we're trading for this player, and they have to accept. Who is your dream trade target for the black and gold? Have some fun with this one. Ricky Baker, hot take. Wee-woo, wee-woo, wee-woo. Hot take alert. I don't like Brandon Staley because he had Aaron Darnold and Jalen Ramsey when he was the defensive coordinator, then completely flopped when he went to the Chargers, rather the guy from the Eagles. So, Ricky, I can understand where you're coming from there, brother. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey in 2020, they had unbelievable years. Rams won a Super Bowl. They were an unstoppable force, both offensively and defensively. That all being said, Brandon Staley was never going to work out as a head coach for the Chargers. They were in a bad situation. The roster wasn't all that great. And I just don't think a lot of defensive coaches are going to succeed in this league. So, or as head coaches, I should say. I get where you're coming from, but I think Brandon Staley's a lot like Dennis Allen, where if you don't make him a head coach, he is phenomenal in that role right as a coordinator. I think that's where he might thrive a little bit. And plus, if things work out, it's not like teams are like itching to go hire Brandon Staley. He could be the defensive coordinator for the next couple of years, at least until he gets another opportunity elsewhere. And to be honest, I think that's a good little thing for Kellen Moore's future with the Saints. Aiden, do you think there's a good chance Carr can revive his career with a good coach? Do you think there's a chance Carr can revive his career with a good coach? Let me say this. If anyone were to be able to revive Carr's career, it will be Kellen Moore or John Gruden. But you're not hiring John Gruden. Look, you know what Derek Carr is. He's been in the league, 11, 12 years or something at this point? He's been in the league a long time, guys. You know what Derek Carr is. He's not horrible. He's not elite. He's aggressively average, and that's always what he'll be. That's okay. Not everyone can be a top 5 quarterback of all time. Not everyone can be a career backup. Derek Carr is neither of those things. He's right in the middle. He's aggressively average, and he's paid average quarterback money to be average. So, can he? Sure. I think there is a chance. I don't think it's a very high chance. I also don't know if Derek Carr will be with the team next year, so we'll have to see. But great question, Aiden. Austin Darden, let's go to you, brother. I think we cut Derek Carr, give Rattler a fair chance, and with a good, healthy wide receiver group and O-line. He shows sparks even with scrubs. Yeah, so I'll say this right now. I think that this is a good route here. Cut Derek Carr, give Spencer Rattler the opportunity to see what happens. No distractions there. There's no question about it. Spencer Rattler was working with the UFL. The UFL was his roster. It was not good. I would like to see anybody try and win with that roster. Just going to go ahead and put that out there. I don't think you need to trade up for Will Campbell. If you really wanted him at 9, I think he'll be there at 9 overall. And on top of that, honestly, No, I don't want to trade up for an offensive lineman. I'd rather just take an O lineman that falls there, or a guy like Jeanty, or a guy like Will Johnson, or a Mason Graham, or something like that. So we'll have to see what happens. I agree with 2 out of the 3 parts here. Cut Derek Carr, give Spencer Rattler an opportunity. Healthy wide receiver group and O-line definitely needs a chance there. He does show sparks. I agree, but I wouldn't trade up for Will Campbell. But Austin, I really appreciate you for sending in this question, my friend. Biggest Carr fan. So you must have hated that last question. My dream trade target is Micah Parsons. Ooh. Man, I don't know. I don't think that Micah Parsons is going to be a Saint. Dream? For sure. That'd be a lot of fun. And on top of that, it's a big, big help. He's dude, fill a position in need. Like, I really like the idea of bringing in Micah Parsons. I just, if we're going to be realistic, I don't think it's going to happen. But dream trade target, that is a really, really good option as a dream trade target. I really appreciate you, biggest Carr fan. So I don't think the Saints are going to make a lot of trades, maybe a couple. But which team's going to make the most trades this offseason? Hot take, I think the Commanders might be very active spenders. So could the Patriots. They too could be big spenders. So I want you to get down in the comments. Which team is going to be the most trades during the offseason? Show your ball knowledge. Queen Courtney. Y'all know what to do. Get the Queen emojis in the chat. Put the crown emojis for Queen Courtney. How do you think the offense will look if we keep Taysom Hill, draft Cam Skattebo, or Warren with Alvin Kamara? So hear me out. Queen Courtney, I think you can't. First, I'm going to tell you how we can make this all work. Draft Tyler Warren in round 1 at 9 overall. Maybe you trade back and get an extra pick. Then you draft Cam Skattebo on day 2, whether it's the 2nd or 3rd round. Then you get both of those guys. If you keep Taysom Hill, you're going to have to wait for him to get healthy. I don't expect him to be healthy at the beginning of the season. He has a major knee injury and it's an ACL injury. He's expected to make a full recovery, so that's good news there. He's in good spirits. But if you do have this offense and Taysom Hill can return to form, it's a good-looking squad right there, Queen Courtney. It's a good-looking squad. Aiden, another question from you, my friend. We need a big receiver. Who's your favorite in the draft? Trey Harris. Trey Harris is my guy if you want to go get a big-bodied receiver. He fits the same size profile of like an A.J. Brown. He's big, contested catch, physical wide receiver. Fills that void that you've had since Michael Thomas hasn't really been a factor. Savion Williams, is that the guy from TCU? Savion Jones? Savion Williams, Savion Jones, a tight end or a wide receiver from TCU, but then Jack Besh. He also is a TCU wide receiver. I really like him. Senior Bowl MVP too. Saints have drafted Senior Bowl MVPs the past 2 years. Maybe making it 30 in a row, but there's a couple options for you. Jack Besh, Savion Jones / Savion Williams, a TCU wide receiver. Name's slipping me right now. And Trey Harris. Trey Harris is my number 1 for sure, though. Cole So Sporty, do you think the Saints make the playoffs and get Sam Darnold or Justin Fields? Sam Darnold, no. I think he has priced himself out of where the New Orleans Saints can spend money. He had a phenomenal year, factually. I know that they didn't win the playoff game. I know they didn't go far. He had a phenomenal season. There's no question about it. Justin Fields, I think is a little bit more likely, but it's all going to come down to whether or not the Steelers want to keep him. A domino to look for is Matthew Stafford. Once things kind of figure out where he ends up getting traded to or being a part of, then you start seeing the Sam Darnold, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, Derek Carr. You start seeing that kind of all start falling into place. So do the Saints make the playoffs? Maybe. If they get Justin Fields, who knows? I don't know 100% if they'll get it. Sam Darnold less likely than Justin Fields, though. God. Why did you pull this question up? Why? Who is in the chat with this name? It is a great question. It's a great take, but whoever has this name, shame on you. Kyron Lacey lover, what's going on? I still want the Saints to draft Shedeur Sanders. Look, I'll tell you what, KLL, if you want Shedeur, I'm not really willing to trade away the future of the Saints. Shedeur isn't a guy to me that is worth trading away a lot of capital because it's going to take a lot to get up from 9 to 1 or 2 or 3. I do like Shedeur Sanders as a prospect. But I think that the better route here is to go don't draft a quarterback this year. Maybe Jackson Dart, Quinn Ewers, Jalen Milroe late. I don't want to dig them in anything outside of day 3 for the record. If you don't draft, and that you revisit this conversation next year. I think that you have to see what you have in Spencer Rattler, and then we go from there. I just think that's the right thing to do here. But I don't mind Shedeur Sanders. I think he's a good football player. And for the record, I met him in Mexico. Can Kamara have a Saquon-type season under Kellen Moore? Can he? Yes. Will he? Probably not. A big factor of that is how good the Eagles' offensive line was. I mean, they were the best squad in football. You are getting a new coach from the Philadelphia Eagles. Who was it? It was TJ Pagnetti. He was the run game coordinator and I believe the assistant O-line coach in Philadelphia. He is now joining the Eagles or the Saints coaching staff, and he was a big part of the run game success. So, I think that that's a good news for him. And then Doug Nussmeier being the OC, Kellen Moore ran the ball a lot last year. I think that we're going to see a lot of running the football, and I really hope and I really believe Alvin Kamara can get that 1,000-yard season. Hunter, thoughts on signing Amari Cooper in free agency? I don't hate it. Coop is a good player. He's still putting up good numbers. That being said, it's going to depend on the price point. I'm not willing to break the bank. I would be willing to give him a fair but a respectable but not break the bank contract. It needs to be respectable to both sides. Give Coop the money he deserves, but also you shouldn't burn a hole in your wallet for a guy like Amari Cooper. Wide receiver is a position of need. He could be a good veteran in a group that's lacking a quality veteran. So I don't hate the idea of bringing in Amari Cooper. Again, just don't break the bank on it. Another question, Judah. Saints trade away pick number 9 for more draft capital in the first 5 rounds. How many picks could we get? Depends on where you're trading. Depends on who's trading for it. I bet you could get another second round pick. Maybe another 3rd round pick. I think you could definitely get at least 1 second round pick for sure. Maybe on top of the 3rd. It is going to come down to which team is doing it, how desperate they are. Because, for example, if a team trades from 15, they're going to give up a lot less than a team trading from 28, if that makes some sense. So, Judah, is a good question. My answer will be you can get at least another couple of day 2 picks. I don't think you're going to get another first-round pick, though. But you definitely can at least add a couple more day 2 picks, hopefully. I think that would be what it is. But we'll have to see what happens. Guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. A little bit longer of a show, but hey, we're having a good time doing this kind of content, and you guys keep watching it, so that's why we keep making it. Saints fans, hit me up on social media if you guys have any more questions. If I didn't get to answer it, just feel free to send me a DM. I also, every week, put out a first call for mailbag questions, so if you want to guarantee your spot on the mailbag, just answer the questions and comment and DM me. Whatever you want to do, just reach out to me on social media, and I'll make sure we include you next week. Saints fans, y'all stay golden. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time.